everyone to Philadelphia. Welcome to you if this is your first action, your first time thinking about getting arrested.
This group is called Democracy Spring. We first really heard about them a couple months ago when they held a really big protest outside of the U.S. Capitol.
One person, one vote!
Maybe unlike some other groups we'll see out protesting, very well organized.
And one way we figured out to communicate if we need to have silence so that people can know if there's important information is to raise a closed fist in the air.
The history of spirituality is a history of resistance.
Why is it so important that people get some training, that they understand what they're doing before they go out in the street and do it?
More often than not, organizers have spent a tremendous amount of time conducting a strategy that will garner the most attention, be the safest for all involved. I think it's tremendously important that people are coming and getting educated.
In Philadelphia, in 2000, we hosted the Republican National Convention, and the police department got sued and lost millions of dollars for how they conducted themselves with protesters.
The three people that you saw speaking to the group that came into the church, they're trained, they're experienced, they're very pragmatic. They want people to be ready to be arrested.
For the trainings, I think that our most important message is if we stand together peacefully but powerfully, we can actually build a government that works for us. We can overturn Citizens United. We can ensure voting rights for every single person in our country.
Democracy Spring, the people's voice will be heard.
Democracy Spring, sit in.
We're about to march down to Wells Fargo Center to bring our simple demand to the Democratic Party that it's time to live up to their name and for the party leadership to pledge to pass fundamental democracy reform in the first 100 days of a new administration and abolish superdelegates, or we're going to sit in and disrupt the DNC with mass civil disobedience every day.
Across the street, there's a Bernie Sanders rally going on. They're piping him in, they're streaming him in his speech earlier today. How much is this about Bernie Sanders?
This is not about Bernie. This movement existed before this campaign and this election and will exist after. It's about changing the system so that anyone who's running can do so without being beholden to the billionaire class that can just run with the support of the people.
Democracy Spring, sit in.
Keep it right, keep it tight.
Keep it right, keep it tight.
Keep it non-violent.
Keep it non-violent.
One person.
One vote.
One vote.
One vote.
So we're marching south on South Broad Street right now towards the Wells Fargo Arena. The plan is to block off an entrance into the perimeter that surrounds where the convention is going on. If they get stopped before then, they will sit in wherever that happens.
I'm here to make a point. I'm here to make a stand, and I'm not going to go away until we get a government that works for us. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible.
Come on, back up.
So we're right outside of the Wells Fargo Center right now. People have begun to get arrested. And remember, this is a progressive part of the Democratic Party. We thought there were going to be major protests in Cleveland. Didn't really happen. In the first day we've been here, we've already seen larger protests, more organized protests, handful of arrests than anything we saw in Cleveland.
I got it.
Tell me what democracy sounds like.
This is what democracy sounds like.
Free and fair elections. Free and fair